Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Full Court Press. This week, we're bringing you our Week 1 recaps. Starting off with the first game of the day, we have Neji taking the win over Henderson Levesque in overtime.
I went to this game. This was very low scoring in the beginning and then really ramped up towards the fourth quarter. Very own Jake Birkhead came alive and Brady Henderson came out with 26 points. Watching this game, probably like 14 points I think he would have scored. But when I saw it on the Facebook, I was like amazed.
I mean, I think you can't ask for a better game in a Recball. Just so competitive. One thing I had to tell out there was Ishan kind of went off on offense, which is not a typical sight. I want to push him to continue that scoring stretch. I think he had 9. He said he had 12, so someone's lying there. But yeah, definitely had a great game. NEC brought a lot of energy to the team. You love to see it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a solid first game for us. We were getting killed after the first half. It was 29-10. We really weren't playing anything. Brady was our whole team in the first half and for a good chunk of the second half. But I think we kind of came alive towards the end. I also think if we have Ryan Bentley, it's a real different game out there. We might be able to take it. And Connor was the big reason. He was the biggest offensive threat on the team. He hit the game-winning 3 for them. He was really tough to stop. So yeah.
One thing I'd like to add is that Neji scored 51 points, but their top scorer only had 14. That's like good distribution of the ball.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we like to see that. That means that Rob Neji's has a good scheme for this offense.
Rob Neji was definitely, I thought, the difference in that game. That they played really smart basketball. Towards the end, they had a few turnovers when we came alive on defense, but other than that, they ran their offense well, they ran their defense well, and it was very well distributed.
One thing I'm noticing is for Team Henderson is the scoring kind of drops off after Jake and Brady. So you said how Ryan Bentley coming back is going to be a huge factor. What is he going to provide for this team? Is he going to be like a scorer or like
I think he'll provide a lot. I think he'll be a real good scorer for us. He'll be another option. He has a lot of height. But other than Ryan, I think it's the first game,
Definitely.
I think a lot of people are going to develop, and someone I'm really excited to see is Noah on our team. He was a really great defensive player. He did foul out towards the end of the game, which definitely hurt us, but I thought he played a really good game, and I'm excited to see how that goes in the future.
Yeah, it was a great way to start off the Recball year.
Yeah.
With an OT game.
I think everyone had like sort of an off game the first game. Like everyone was kind of rusty, and there were some complaints about the basketball. I heard.
Like the actual basketball.
It was so slippery.
Yeah, like the actual basketball.
I hate the little speckle, like the dots on it. It gets so slippery.
Yeah, that was a big problem in the Calderon versus last game, if I recall correctly. I remember Vincent came up to me after complaining about the ball, and I will admit I did use it a bit, and it's not a good basketball.
It is not a good basketball.
Definitely affected the game for them.
Okay, moving on to the next game of the day, Lombardo versus Breen. Lombardo handling business as usual. Michael Lombardo's already in midseason form with 23 points. Max Dulé with 19. Like that's a great sight to see for Team Breen, in my opinion.
Yeah, Max Dulé really surprised me on this score. I was playing in the other game, so I didn't get a chance to watch this. But 19 out of Max Dulé is crazy.
All right, so I played in this game, so I can comment on this. So Max is actually a really good player. He really only shoots threes, if I'm being honest, but he makes them. He'll just spot up and drain them every time. Tim Breen, I honestly expected him to drop 20 on us, but it just didn't happen. I think he just needs to kind of get in that groove and he'll get going for sure. But yeah, we definitely had a great game.
A little quiet, 10 points for Tim Breen.
Thing I want to point out is the big man, Ari Jane, putting up 11. There was a lot of talk about how much he would help the team, and he got added on, and I think it was pretty clear. Based on the scoring, and I imagine he played a great defensive game from what I saw.
Oh, definitely, yeah. He probably led the league in rebounds this week, so hopefully they continue doing that.
Yeah, he's going to be a force to play against.
Yeah, definitely.
Quiet underclassman of the year competitor.
Oh, definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
Okay, moving on to the next game. Another overtime game. These games are getting wild. It's Levesque McCalla versus Martin Sassetti, and Martin Sassetti shocked the world with this one. Facing the first seeded team, Brendan Martin taking care of business, John Colburn dropping 13 points out of nowhere and forcing Levesque McCalla into overtime.
So if you guys watched last week, I was not surprised that this one was too close. You guys thought it was going to be a blowout, but I saw our team playing a pretty good game, and we started off really slow, but towards the third and fourth quarter, we really picked it up, and we switched to zone to really stop Thomas Cashman. So that really helped us, but they come out on top on like making layups and like consistency.
Yeah, so from what I saw, Cashman was a big difference maker in the game. He wasn't on the top scoring sheet, but AJ, if I'm correct, he completely changed how you guys had to play defense.
Yeah, we had to switch out of the man-to-man, and then that let Jay go off for 4 threes from the top of the key.
Matab was one of the big factors in this game. He had 8 points. I love to see it. I want to see him continue to do that. Michael Lusher, 8 points. I want to see him pick that up for sure. But overall, just another great rec ball game. Like, you just love to see it.
Yeah, it was an all-around pool party, as Matab likes to say.
I love Matab, like, scoring 8 points, being up there and, like, yelling at the crowd whenever he scores. Like,
Need that
this is
Yeah.
what we need
Definitely
from
fun
rec
to
ball.
watch.
Yeah.
And another, again, well-distributed game, 49 points, and their top scorer only scoring 12. Like, you know that their whole team got some points in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Cochane getting 10. I mean, this team, they have so many weapons, so many people that can score. It's such a great offensive team. It's hard to stop. But Martin Sassetti, the fact that they were able to take them to overtime, I mean, this is Lusher McCalla, the team that was our unanimous #1 pick in the top team in the preseason rankings. And you guys took them to overtime, AJ.
Yeah, I think we if we play them again this season, I think we might come out on top because we could not shoot. It's like a new ball, but I also think that Lusher couldn't shoot either.
Hopefully,
So
AJ can
it'll come
get on
along.
the score sheet next time.
Yeah.
All right, calm down.
One thing
It's
I'm
the ball,
noticing
it's the
is
ball. Don't worry.
everyone's saying McCalla's #1. They're the best team, the team to beat. But, like, that game was so close. Like, I think Martin Sassetti has to go up in the power ranks after this one. It's either that.
100%.
There might be top 4 at this point, honestly.
I would
I'd
say
four.
maybe
That's a good
top
take right
We
there.
got top
Yeah.
3.
I'm gonna say number
something
3.
to talk
Slide
about
us
for
into
sure.
3. We won't disappoint.
Also, I'd like to see Andrew Cochane, young Peter Parker, dropping 10 points in the first half. I think they were all in the first half, so
Yeah.
that's a great sight to see.
Yeah, he got hot.
Okay.
Kind of faded towards the end once we switched to our zone.
Next game, we got Meyer versus Barry Barr. Very low-scoring game. I didn't expect much from this, but Barry Barr needs to pick up some offensive slack on this, in my opinion.
Yeah, or go ahead.
Meyer obviously 35, but I think a big thing great game from Eli and good game from David. I believe Jake Dapley, he said he went around 3 for 16 on layups. That's not going to happen again, so they're definitely going to be a much better offensive team in the future.
Yeah, I think this is a bad representation of Team Barry Barr because O&T was dealing with foul trouble the whole entire game and ended up fouling out in crunch time due to a charge, driving hard to the hoop. So I think if he can stay out of foul trouble, he can have like a big season, but he only comes out with 7. So I think that if he can put more points in, they can be a better team.
I think one person to really look at is Barr. He's a really underrated player. He's a great shooter, so I want to see him continue to do well. 7 points is not bad, but this team's definitely going to need some more scoring production out of these 2 stars right here. So
They definitely need to pick up the slack. Like,
Yeah.
we can see that they're good at defense. Like, they only held Meyer to 35 points. Like, Jake Dapley at 3 for 16 on layups doesn't come that he's just missing them. Like, there's someone in the paint defending him. But, like, Owen dropping 7, that's not what we need from him.
Not
We
at
need
all.
Barr to drop more, of course, too. So, yeah.
Yeah, O&T, he did say he was going to be unstoppable in this league, and I definitely think he could be right, but he's got to pick up the performance a little bit.
all right, moving on to the next game, Rawhim, your very own team playing Team Sepsis. Would you like to comment on this game?
Very low-scoring game in the first half. It was probably like 11-10 at the end of the first quarter. We just couldn't hit our shots, but Team Sepsis kept it close the whole time. I like to point out Rahul Perumal, I think, dropping 16 points. He was just chucking up threes from like half court, making them. Like, he's a good player, and then Julian, I thought like he wasn't really going to be an offensive sort of player. Like, he's just a defender, but he was doing pretty well. Like, he was bringing up the ball sometimes. I was surprised. And someone who didn't get on the score sheet, Camden Petralia, like, he didn't score any points this game, but he was definitely a force on offense. He was setting up his teammates the whole game.
So one thing I wanted to comment on was your team just looks really like balanced in the scoring sheet. Like, you have people that can score like potentially double digits each week. Mikey, I think, is going to pick it up. He only had 6, so
100%.
he'll definitely pick it up for sure. Cooper. I didn't watch this game, but he had 24. Did any of you see that game?
I think he just took a lot of shots.
Took a lot of shots, but
Yeah, like a little Jason Tatum vibe.
all right.
But scored 24. Takes some skill.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I wanted to say that Cooper scored max, like, 4 points in the first half. And Mikey missed a lot of shots. I missed a lot of shots. We're definitely going to pick up the slack.
Yeah, I watched the first half, and I want to shout out Quinn Campbell. Made the first half very entertaining. And don't worry, shooters shoot. They're going to fall.
Yeah, the big thing though, Rawhim, how much do you think when JJ comes back, how much will that help your team, do you think?
Oh, 100%. We're going to have JJ bringing up the ball as well as Cooper and Mikey. Like, JJ is definitely a force on the court. He's not to be reckoned with on defense either.
Is there a timetable on when he could possibly return?
There's a possibility for week 2, but we don't know yet. Stay tuned. Next game of the week, we got Calderon last, handling team. Calderon versus last. Calderon handled team last very efficiently. Vincent with 56 points. No, Vincent had 6 points. Joel had 16. Logan had 14, which is a great outing for Logan. And not really a top scorer on last. 6 points, 4, and 4 from Seabass Grillo.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch this game, but people said Joel went off. So that's great to hear. Coming off, like, his surgery. So, like, last year he had a chest surgery, so he couldn't play school ball. But I'm glad to see him doing good in rec ball this year.
This team, I see Vincent, Joel, and Logan going off, but, like, I want to see him go against a more competitive team just to, like validate that they're, like, true scorers. Because I've never seen Joel, but I've heard great things from him. And, you know, team last just does not seem to have, like, a dominant scorer really at all. So, I don't know. Just wasn't the most competitive game in rec ball at all.
I got some insider info from Seabass Grillo. The only reason why Vincent dropped 6 is because, like, they were focusing on him the whole game apparently.
Oh, really?
And Vincent was just setting up his teammates, so he's getting out of them Jason Tatum tendencies. We love to see that.
It's a new year for Vincent.
Definitely. Vincent probably had more assists than points.
Yeah, Tommy, like you said about team last not having a true scorer, I believe Brendan Estefan said he had 6 points. I think he was their leading scorer. He only had 6 though, so you're definitely gonna have to see him. And also Ben Verheyen got to really pick it up for them. But how about Team Calderon? I mean, this isn't just a win. They really
of course.
They killed team last.
Of course.
So I'm really interested to see how they are gonna fare against a more competitive game.
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't look too far into that one, Jake.
I feel like Team Calderon deserves a move up in the rankings for sure. All right, well, that is the last game of the day, and that concludes our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Christmas special, so we will not be recording for 2 weeks because Rec Ball is going to be postponed for 2 weeks due to the holidays. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode and have a great holiday.
One more, just make sure we got a good. You guys look adorable in those hats.